Ayo, I'm Tits.
Hey everyone, I'm Lorenzo.
Your Areolas.
Oh yeah, that's what I am.
Who is this strange man hosting Tits and
Oh
Areolas with
yeah.
me? Where is Areolas?
Oh my
Who is
bad.
this Lorenzo?
I have Areolas.
And today we're reviewing Caroline.
Cor- Coraline.
Caroline.
We're
I've always
reviewing a movie called Coraline.
how's it pronounced?
Coraline.
Coraline. Did they say
Yeah,
her name in the movie?
they keep calling her Caroline, but it's Coraline.
Oh, that's so confusing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just like me fucking up the beginning with using my first name instead of my last name. That fits
Oops.
in with
Yeah.
the theme.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I
Well,
think originally the author wanted it to be Caroline and then they misspelled it and he was like, I'll go with it.
coral line.
Hmm.
Oh, I guess the letters are mixed up. Oh, you couldn't you just fix it? Wait, why couldn't you fix it?
I think he could fix it, whoever like originally wrote the book, but he liked
Yeah.
how it sounded because it was like unique, instead of just Caroline.
Oh. Well,
It
yeah,
was
that
like
makes
a
sense.
Yeah, it was like a error, but it was in the like benefit of him because it was like, oh, I like how that sounds. It's not like a bunch whenever you rush a comic and then it gets a lot of editing errors because you want to meet a
Yeah.
deadline. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of the opposite of that. This is like a
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
just going with the
serendipitous.
mistake instead of being defensive
Yeah,
about
exactly.
the mistake that you made. So,
Just like me earlier. Yeah, going with the mistake.
yeah.
Uh, but
What was your first exposure to this?
Man, I don't even remember. I know when it did first come out. When did it come out? In 2009. I probably saw it that same year, maybe like
Mm.
when it came out on DVD or Redbox or whatever the fuck was like the thing back then. What
You
about
know,
you?
I saw this in theaters.
Did you?
I okay. Here's a fun story
You were a
related to this.
little baby when this came
It
out,
like it
right?
came out in like 2008. So I was like,
Okay.
what year? Well, I mean, what month? 2008. No, 2009. Okay, I was 8. It was
Jesus.
like so it came out February 2009. I think I saw it around the second week. And what's what's fun is that there was a choice between seeing Curious George or Coraline. And so I was like, obviously, I want to see Coraline. Why would I want to watch Curious George? I am not in that age range. I am
Hmm.
interested in dark things immediately. And Coraline just seemed like more up my alley. So I watched Coraline and I was scared. I was in a lot of fear watching this movie. By the end of it. I It's a movie that traumatized me as a kid, and then when I watched it back in as an adult, I was like, this isn't actually that bad. It's pretty tame, but for a kid, it is pretty intense. But if you're an
Yeah.
adult now, it's pretty tame.
No, no. I for this being, I don't know if it's billed as a kids movie. I think it is. It is not
Yeah,
a kids movie. It is a pretty. It's like that right in the middle of like too scary for kids and not scary enough for adults. I don't know. Like it's a
right.
weird middle ground. But it's just even when I saw it in 2009 or 2010, how old was I? 18, 19, 20, maybe like 23 or
Yeah,
22. It was pretty scary. Like it was,
yeah.
yeah, it
I
had
must have
scary
must have
shit.
been yeah must have been that I didn't get as scared the second time watching it because I already knew it was going to happen.
Hmm.
Um, I guess if I came in fresh as a 23-year-old watching it this year, I'd be I'd be a little bit spooked out. I'd like the concept, but I've seen scarier films.
Yeah,
I've seen a
yeah.
lot scarier films since then.
I'd say for its time, it was scary. Like for this coming
Yeah,
out in 2009 as a kids movie, this is pretty scary because this is kind of like what a lot of, I guess, kids, not even kids movies nowadays, but a lot of movies have a lot more fear in it and stuff like that for the younger
Yeah,
generation because everyone's desensitized. So I think this was ahead of its time in that aspect.
that's true. My favorite thing about the movie
Hmm.
is the establishing shot, the entire premise. She's coming out of this place. She's not comfortable with moving to this new place. She's comfortable in her old place. She
Hmm.
moves to this new house, and immediately the new house is really weird. You ever experienced that moving into a new place and it's like, ugh, something's off about this place. Like it feels weird and new. And
Definitely, yeah.
her reaction to everything after this point, it kind of reinforces the vibe that the movie's weird. Like the house is weird itself, but the movie's weirdness helps further solidify that concept. So I picked it up pretty early that she feels uncomfortable with her environment. And then uh what's completely normal?
What's that?
Coraline follows a mouse. That's a normal thing to do. Have you done that as a child?
I've ran away from rats. I wouldn't say I followed mice.
Yeah, me too. I would stay away from it. I
Hmm.
don't know what type of child she is. I don't know what's going on with her at the moment. She's just really curious about the just curious about the house.
Hmm.
But mice leads to a mysterious door that's a portal to an alternate dimension where everybody has eyes. That I mean has buttons for eyes. As a child, I would not be interested at all.
No, that's what I was
No.
thinking too. Like, if you saw your other mother, right, your mother, but she had buttons for eyes, I'd immediately like get the fuck out of there. Like, that's not anything appealing, or even everything in this
Right.
universe just having buttons for eyes. It's it's creepy. How are
How
they
do they
staring at me?
see?
Yeah, how are they staring at me?
What's their vision like?
Hmm.
Is a um is their vision like, oh well, I can have two holes in my eyes to see, or is the button itself just the pupil? And well, there's like individual parts to our eyes. Like, how
Yeah,
does this work?
yeah. Could the four little, how buttons typically have four little dots? Like, are those the eyes?
Yeah,
They're like spider. I mean, I'm not getting ahead of myself with the whole spider thing, but
yeah.
in this other world, everything's better to her, right? Like it's the complete opposite of what the real world is. She's fucking getting fed badass food. She's her mom's treating her well and not ignoring her. Her father's a cool
You
singing
should be
dude.
wary. You should be wary. Someone wants your attention this badly. You got to think about what their intentions are. And Coraline doesn't really realize this at first.
I think as a kid though, it's different, and then seeing like these creatures or whatever they are take the form of your parents, it brings you that other form of like, okay, comfort, because it's everything. It's the voice, it's the shape, it's just not the eyes, and that that should immediately rub you the
Eyes are
wrong
the
way.
window to the soul.
That is true.
So using their eyes, that's like changed. It's you know, as a kid I missed this, but as an adult thinking upon it further,
Hmm.
it makes sense that their buttons are. I mean, the eyes are buttons because they're soulless.
Yeah.
And is their only intent to just have Coraline become one of them? For what reason? Like the crabs in a bucket mentality, just pull everyone down, or like what do they need her for?
I was having a kind of a discussion of that with my buddy because when I told him I was gonna watch Coraline, we were gonna talk about it. He like, oh yeah, that's a good movie. I've read about it. And like how this creature, who you later find out the other mother is Beldum or whatever, and how she steals like the souls of children or whatever. You wonder if it's kind of like it, where it's an interdimensional being that feeds off of children because there's that vibe to it, and I don't know. There's a lot of like cool things because they're not answered, but it builds up to the lore of what it could be. And as a kid, you don't see that. Like, if you watching this as a kid when you were what, 6, 9, 8,
I was 8.
8, you didn't think about all that. You were just fucking scared, right? Because that shit was scary.
I think I felt I think I've attached my perspective to that child in the screen. I was like similar to her age, so I was able to relate to it more.
Hmm.
And so because I related to it, it was scary. I felt that I was in her situation, and um I felt like I was in that situation. Like, oh no, parents aren't like paying close attention to me. They just let me just do whatever. They don't really care that much. They just be in a room, and that leads to shenanigans. Like Coraline gets into shenanigans that pretty much almost almost end her life. You know, it's it's fascinating how much how little parent supervision contributes to how much Coraline almost dies here. Like this could be solved by the parents being like, "Oh, well, how about you come and help us with our gardening?" And Coraline's like, "No, I don't want to. Just find a child to do something. Just have her do something outside." Um, but I also on the next um another idea
Hmm.
that I have is
Hmm.
that she has this sense of independence that at this age it didn't really matter what her parents would necessarily want. She would just go around them, and this also leads her into trouble. So maybe the parents should establish themselves more as worthy of respect. That's
You
just my
know,
thought.
I guess it was just from where they, had lived prior. I don't know if they lived in a small town or whatever, but she had her friends so she could go out. She was, watched by the community or whatever. And now they move and she has to, get accustomed to this new area without her friends, but the parents are the same because all they got to do is do the same work they're doing. They work from home or whatever. Same stuff. So they don't feel it. She
Yeah.
feels it obviously, like immediately.
The moving is more important when you're a child versus when you're an adult.
Oh yeah.
Like, um, I'm not exactly sure if this type of stability, staying in one place for so long into your entire life, is necessarily best for the child's development. And I'm glad that Coraline got to move.
I feel like it just depends on the situation, right? Because some people are good at that, and then it just depends on the parents if they're there for you all the time,
Mm,
how it is to get acclimated somewhere new.
it's
But
true.
this just didn't work out. She immediately followed a mouse into an interdimensional little door and started fucking feeling it, with the other mother to
Yeah.
where she wanted to go there every night, and it got better and better, the treats or the spoils or whatever.
Trying to make her fat.
Feed her that, and then you have the other guests they put on the shows, the weird characters that she deals with, like the trapeze dude, the Russian, the two dancers, or like two women who are like old play actresses or something
Yeah.
with a bunch of dogs. And yeah,
Pretty fascinating.
yeah, it's odd background characters that all have like little stories to them.
Yeah. I just wonder how they even got here in the first place. Maybe they were lured in by their own portal. Like maybe they had a portal in their own house and then they got and now they're trying to get her to come. Like how do they know their histories? Do they know their histories once they get buttoned eyed?
Yeah, and see, I think once, well, just kind of like with the rat, and this is what I find interesting too, is that
Mm,
the cat can travel between the two worlds
Yeah.
somehow, and he talks in the second world. And you see that part where he kills that one rat, and it turns into like uh a puppet, like like a little rag doll. And so you would think
Yeah.
every other character there that's not the mother is like a doll that's just alive, and once it dies it turns into like you know uh sand and fucking cloth.
That seems like a painful existence. Even if you die, you're still cloth. You don't get to dissolve into the earth and have no consciousness whatsoever because all your body processes are dead. I don't know what you feel as a piece of cloth. Would you feel anything as a piece of cloth?
I don't know. I don't know if you'd feel it, if you even feel that you're alive. I feel like that would be more off-putting. Like being alive but you don't feel alive. You're just this like living not alive creature, all cold with no warmth.
N- no internal mechanism for producing warmth. Um, flatness. I wonder what it feels like to just be molecules. Like, just is there any consciousness to me? Is there like, oh, I just feel I'm part of the universe or something? Just as being a molecule, just not conscious like humans are of their existence. You ever think
The
about that?
the
This-
major yeah, I actually do a lot of times. I think of uh, my existence and what it has to do with the entire world and how we're
yeah.
connected. And it's scary when you think of like the little tiny speck of dust that we are in the entire cosmos of the universe. But we try not to think about that. We try to
I don't try to think about it. It just comes up. I'm like, huh, I wonder what it'd feel like to be dead. Would I know I'm dead? Obviously not. You know?
the thing
I
is you
think
won't
about
know until it happens, and then you'd be
it.
like,
Then you won't
oh
know.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
you won't know.
You won't know until, but then you will know, but then it's too late. So there's the
Yeah, I
catch
think
twenty
the
two.
sign is the DMT trip that you take right as I forget which chemical it is. The one that releases right before the moment of death. That
Mm.
moment, as soon as I start see visualizations of things, then I'm like, okay, okay, my body's breaking down. No more life. That's what I imagine would happen.
It's like shit. I died. Fuck.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't get shot in the head because I would like to experience that trip.
I think that's a low bar. I think hopefully you don't get shot in the head. Yeah, I'm
Hopefully.
hoping for that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other way would be I guess okay, but that would be a low tier way to die.
Yeah. Coraline doesn't die though.
No,
Unfortunate.
there's a point where she she's like really down with this other world, and the mother's like, okay, all you gotta do is let us sew buttons on your eyes.
But
and
what
and
about
then
my her real eyes? Like, do you have anything to numb the pain? Like,
no, she doesn't even like say anything like that. She's just like, we gotta sew buttons on your eyes, that's how we keep you here. And
how
she's
to
all,
how reassuring.
yeah.
How so reassuring. Also, is the festivities forever once you sew the buttons to your eyes? Do you take my eyeballs out, or I do put the buttons over my eyeballs? Do the eyeballs stay in? But also, once I'm here, am I now in a perpetual state of hell and not feeling fulfilled because I have no reference to what is good and what is bad? Oh, I'm having a bad life. What their treatment is now good, but now if I stay in this perpetual state of good, will I even be appreciative of the current good, or will it turn to terrible trash and I'll just be stuck in this hell forever?
See, I feel like a lot of that should have been explained in the fine
Yeah.
print by the mother, but she thought, doing the honey pot sort of thing where, oh, here's a good meal. Oh, I love you. Oh, your dad's cool here. Look at the garden. Now, do you want to stay? Sure. Okay, all you gotta do is sew button on your eyes. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa, whoa.
whoa. Let's hit the car in reverse and let's like park. Put it in park
Maybe
and
put
hit
me
it in
on drugs
reverse.
first before asking me about that. Maybe some painkillers. Slip some painkillers into my food. Okay, how you feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. Um, okay, great. I'm glad to see that you're doing great. Is it okay since you love being here? That's
Mhm, mhm,
awesome.
mhm.
Uh, do you want to stay here forever? Do you want to stay forever? Let's pretend you're
Yeah.
Coraline.
Yeah, no, this sounds great. What Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. You're on heavy painkillers right now.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to sew buttons over your eyes so you stay here forever?
I mean, if I could stay
It
here
won't hurt.
forever. Yeah, if I
It
could
won't
stay
hurt.
here
You're on heavy painkillers. Oh, we have
forever?
infinite drugs here. Yes,
Yeah.
forever.
I
You
could
won't have
eat
to deal
all
with
the
pesky mortality. Who cares about that?
Why not?
All right,
Sign
done
me up.
deal. They should have just given her a painkiller before asking her that question.
I
So she's
feel
more receptive.
I feel bad because 3 other kids fell for this same, like, stick, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
is Coraline just smarter than them, or are they really dumb? But, I mean, they were from a different time, of course. They were, like, in the olden times, because when you look at, like, the ghost kids, so maybe it was easier to trick them, like,
Mhm.
but Coraline didn't fall for this, like, immediately, So she was like, "No, I'm good. Thanks
I do
anyways."
think I do think they probably had a worse thing going on in their life.
Mhm. Yeah.
They were definitely thinking about, oh, well, I'm in a terrible state because before the 1910s, there was no, I mean, the 1900s, before the 1900s, there was no antibacterial thing. So if you got a bacterial infection, you're dead.
Yeah.
But penicillin, the accidental creation of penicillin, plus nitrogen being able to be introduced to plants to create more plants. Bam! Big population boom. Before
Mhm.
that, terrible living conditions.
Yeah,
So
you're
it
absolutely
depends on
right.
which time they were from too, and what perspective they're coming from.
Yeah, you could literally back then be like, "Hey, here's a can of warm food." "Okay, cool. Sew my eyes shut, because we're not getting anything over here with the war. My dad's
Yeah,
gone, and we don't have any food at all. Yeah, it's time sew my eyes shut."
yeah. I don't want to look at the ugliness of the world, so I get it. See,
Yeah.
I do like how Coraline understands this ridiculous deal, and then it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna come home again, and I'm going to ignore them forever. Let's see how long this will last me.
So, at this point, she runs away from the other mother, gets back home, her parents are gone. She's not really sure where they are, but she's happy to be back in her own world away from the other mother. She finds out that the other mother kidnapped her parents, which I don't know how this happened, because it doesn't really kind of explain how the other mother can, like, travel between worlds. Like,
Maybe she's like a mob boss. She has influence on both
yeah,
sides.
I guess she could have, like, trapped, because she traps him in that snow globe ultimately. So I don't know what powers she has, right? So
Yeah,
uh Coraline's like, okay, I gotta go, to the other world, rescue my parents. And so she gets there and she tells the mother, hey, let's play a game.
yeah.
And the mother's like, hell yeah, this is what I'm down for, like, I love fucking games. It's like, okay, what do you want? Okay, what'd she say? If I find the 3 children's eyeballs and where my parents are, you have to let us all go. And if I don't, you could have my eye. I'll sew my eyes shut.
Oh boy. What a deal. How do they find the children's eyeballs? It's been so long. Wouldn't she
Yeah,
have misplaced them by now? Are they in some secret drawer? Oh, I like to keep my eyeballs here. This is my eyeball collection. This one's hazel. This one's green. This one's blue green. Weird colors. Here's one that has no melanin in the eye whatsoever. It's an albino eye. You can only see the blood cells. I mean, the blood vessels. Wow, look at this one. Isn't this cool?
This one I keep in a pickle jar
Yeah.
with in
I like to
the
I like
pickle
to pickle
fluid.
my eyes.
Yeah, to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I don't know, like when it says this, when it gets to this point of the movie is where I kind of get like off of it. It kind of reminds me of a video game because it's like Dora the Explorer or Blue's Clues, like help us find the eyes, and then we
Yeah.
go out and like look for the eyes. Like it got weird at this point to me.
Yeah. Um I didn't expect it to turn into some scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
I know we need a like an ultimate deal, like we gotta have some sort of stakes, but I don't know. I don't believe that they could have found the eyes, but they somehow did. And I'm like, but why? Like, is she
plot.
sloppy with where she puts her eyes?
Yeah, it was too easy. It was just real too easy. Like I don't know if it was supposed to give Coraline like false hope, and then she was supposed to like ultimately at the end lose, but she didn't because of circumstances or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think she found the eyes like way too easy, and it was weird. It turned into like yeah, like a searching game. It got weird to me when I first saw it and watched this. Like as a kid, what did you think of this part? Were you like,
Um,
I'll help you, I'll help you find them, Coraline?
I was just really grossed out. I was just like, stop with the eyes, man. I don't want to see them. They're in my head. That's where they're supposed to remain. If I see an eyeball just being an eyeball, I don't like that idea at all. Ugh, you know? That's
Let
why
me
I that's the most consistent thing that I've kept on my opinion about Coraline, both as a child and an adult. I don't like the eyes.
let me ask you this. Back when you first saw this, what did you think of like the colors and the art and all of that? Did you appreciate it back then as much
Yeah.
as like as much as we should now because of it being stop motion and all the
I
work
mean,
that goes into it?
I do appreciate the artistry, the craft of it. I do like the colors, the more vibrant colors in the alternate world. It's more bright. Even the pathway to the alternate world is very bright.
Hmm.
Versus the colors of the real world, they're more muted.
Hmm.
And it's to distinguish, like, oh, it's reality versus fantasy. But I also like the idea that once it turns into more of a darker fantasy, like, oh, you got to sell your eyes to even live in this world. It's like a selling your soul to the devil, but your eyes actually instead of your soul. And
Yeah,
I don't even know if you live forever. They don't even answer that, right? Do they answer that? I don't remember.
I think they do. Well, because the ghosts are there, they live forever, but they're trapped. They're like in limbo. Like
They're
they can't
dolls
go
and
anywhere.
then they're dolls and then they're ghosts.
Yeah.
So the dolls are immortal. Do they die of old age, or is it, oh well, I'm done with you. Bleh. I don't want you to be my doll anymore. I'm just gonna throw you away like in Toy Story 3.
They probably die like of normal wear and tear because they're
Mm,
human with sewed button eyes, and then maybe
yeah.
that's why she goes for her next victim. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder what the lifespan is on that.
Well, they die as kids, so I imagine not very long if they stay. And then that too, they like stay kids forever. They don't like get
Yeah.
their eyes sewn shut and then age into adults with eyes sewn shut.
Um I I like the spider. I was scared of the spider when I was a child. As an adult, I'm like, get them, spider, eat them at all. Eat all of them, please. What'd you think?
No, I loved whenever I don't know if this is its true form, the other mother, but it's like a mechanical spider. Of course, it doesn't matter like who you are. Uh I feel like the whole world is afraid of spiders. Like no matter how like friendly a spider may be, how defenseless, how it would never hurt you, people were just universally afraid. Not everyone, of course, but I mean like the percentage of the world is afraid of spiders. You know what I mean?
They're weird. They have 8 legs. Snakes are weird in the same way. They have no legs.
Mm.
That's
There's
inconceivable.
there's a middle ground of how many legs he should have to be okay.
2 and 4.
Yeah,
That's how many legs you have to have.
3's okay at some points if it's out of your
If you want to grow
control.
one.
Yeah, or if you want to lose one as a dog, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, yeah, I agree with you. Spiders are scary, and then like the way it comes out mechanical, I don't know. It looks badass. It's
Yeah, it's
animated
pretty cool.
badass,
I
and
love the stop motion in this.
and I love that she's able to like get out of it, but then the hand gets through the door, so you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like,
It's like, oh, I thought she was gone, but she's actually not.
yeah, like
I
oh
like the
shit,
trickery that happens. Like,
yeah,
oh,
this
my
isn't
parents
over.
are there. Do you want to get my parents? Oh, they're there. You go get them. And then, without using the brain, spider chick be like, oh, I want to suck their blood. And then, nope. Actually, nope. Gotcha. Haha. Gotcha. Now you're no longer a threat. I like Coraline's big brain in this end of the movie.
Where she, well, luckily that dude that's been a creepy stalker the whole movie ends up redeeming himself, I guess, to her, helping
Mm-hmm.
her by defeating that robotic hand, and they throw it into that like endless well that has little mushrooms growing around it, so it's like a little pixie
Mm.
fairy temple or something.
Yeah, I was wondering what the well was going to be used for when it
Hmm.
was introduced in the movie, but I'm glad it made a return. And also, Citizen Kane moment.
Hmm.
Snow globe. It shatters.
Rosebud.
And everyone's released, including your parents. And it's like, oh my goodness, your parents. Oh my goodness, I'm going to appreciate you while you're here with the good and the bad. I got to have the bad with the good to know what is good and what's bad, you know?
Hmm.
Can't always be sunshine and rainbows.
And
Rain's cool
it's
too.
and it's sort of it's a wonderful life moment where I should have appreciated what I had at the beginning, and now I do have a real appreciation of it. And yeah, a happy ending all around. Even though if you were a kid like you that went to see this kids movie, you got scarred and probably had nightmares that night because this is pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, I had dreams that I was in that well and that this spider was attacking me and I couldn't stop it. I couldn't grab a big paper towel and crush it in my hands.
Fun fact from fun fact from me, the voice of the other mother, Terry Hatcher,
Mm-hmm.
she played uh who was it? Lois and Clark The Adventures of Superman,
Oh, cool.
and she's fucking hot. And when I was like younger, because I would watch that, I would like masturbate to her
Mm.
because she was
Good
hot as
choice.
fuck. Yeah, no, she was real hot. I mean, she's still a fox, like for however old she is now, 55 or whatever.
Wouldn't that be a cougar? What
Yeah,
animal would that be?
no, you're right. It probably, well, a cougar. I think that's if she has children. She probably does have children though. But
Don't fox have children?
I think a woman could be a fox or a cougar. Because women fox, well, what are they? Vixens? What's a woman fox? A girl fox?
Maybe Vixen.
A vixen?
Um, Vixen. It's a rock band. Yeah, it's a female fox.
Okay, my bad. Okay, I'm probably confusing. You should call a man a silver fox and a woman a cougar or a vixen.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Good distinguishment.
Okay. No,
Wait,
she's a vixen.
actually, you need a further distinguishment.
Okay, what
Would
is
a
that?
vixen be a sly, like cunning woman, and a cougar would be just like a kind of a beefy, protective of their self person? Like, what are these different animals?
I don't think I don't think they necessarily have to be beefy. You could probably just say like powerful, like
Mm,
they don't stand down. And maybe Vixen would be like a sly woman that you know is behind the back, sort of whatever.
yeah.
I wouldn't say a slut. I'm saying more like she like conducts herself quietly,
Mm.
perhaps.
What did you think of this movie by the end of it?
Oh, it's great. Rewatching it again, I loved it. It again, I had my same thoughts when I was younger. Like, oh, this turns into kind of like a weird game where you're like, oh, follow along, help me find the eyes, da da da. But everything else about this, like the art, and then like looking at all the behind the scenes shit and how much
Right.
work they put into it, it's amazing. It's a work of art. It really is.
Yeah, it's very artistic. I like the animation a lot. The stop motion is very good.
Hmm.
And it's animated in like such a stylistic way, with the stop motion being very good. And I just overall enjoyed the story of it. Scarred me as a child. I still remember it as an adult. Um, and I guess overall, just I like the movie as an adult. I was like feeling, oh man, this is good for me to have watched when I was 8. As a 23-year-old, I don't get as much out of it as like other movies, but I think I would give this movie, it gets a solid 7
Hmm.
out of 10.
I'd say a 7 also, just because, like I said, those thoughts about it kind of being weird at the end with the game, but
Yeah.
it's it really is a work of art. The stop motion, it's like a lost art, especially with all the computer animation and whatnot. So it is beautiful. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
it's great.
film.
Which game do you have for us
Oh,
today?
we do have a game to play.
Yeah.
My name's Areolas. No, there's the there's my line there. Uh,
Yay!
s-
Did it.
so so the game I have for you to play, I call it Clay Eye,
Clay
and
Eye. Okay.
that's me trying to say it's like claymation but AI, Clay Eye. You get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are these different characters?
So what I did, I went into AI because I've been trying to use AI more with this because it's fun messing with the
Yeah.
AI. We always have fun with this, and I put in create this character or this movie. No, create this movie as a stop motion scene. So
Okay.
basically, I'm going to show you a stop motion looking scene that AI generated, and you're going to guess the movie that it came from.
Okay.
So let's take a look.
That is Hellraiser.
Yes, and this is
Yeah.
AI generating Hellraiser. With
AI is getting better with lighting.
it's pretty cool. I thought it was interesting. It looks kind of
Yeah.
like a mummy, but yeah, that one was pretty easy. Let's see. I think I have 10 of these. I think I have 10 of these. Let
Okay.
me check. This is the next one.
Forrest Gump. Wow, these are really easy.
Yeah.
I could tell that was Tom Hanks.
I mean, it looks good. It trips me out that it can generate this to this level in like this was in seconds. I type it in and it does it in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Uh
pretty cool.
Next one.
Was Wizard of Oz.
Yep. These are really easy. I'm looking more at
Amazing.
the art though. It does look pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice style.
Hmm.
I mean,
See.
there's like, oh, what is this?
This one might be hard because I don't think you've ever seen this movie
I have not. It's the
if I
Rough
know correctly.
Dogs, Reservoir Dogs,
Yeah, you're right. You haven't
Reservoir
seen it though,
Dogs.
have you? You
Oh,
haven't seen it?
I've seen it once
You
actually.
have.
Yeah, I just haven't reviewed it. I'm waiting to review Tarantino movies a lot later in my career, so
I
I'll have
I,
more to say about them.
I remember that being like the stipulation. I think when we first started this show, you were like, "I don't do Tarantino movies."
Yeah,
Like, it
I gotta
was
wait. I
was
gotta
like,
I gotta show them I gotta show him his proper respect that he deserves
it
by
was in your
using
contract.
terminology. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought this was cool because it goes. If you've seen the movie Reservoir Dogs, so it's like
Yeah.
Mr. Pink, Mr. Yellow, and then they're in suits and they're dogs. You get it?
Yeah, I get it. It's pretty
That's
cool.
cute. It's cute. You should see whenever you get a chance. See Death Proof. That's what movie I want to do with you. Death Proof.
Okay.
That's a Tarantino movie that I fucking love, even though everyone thinks it's boring. But next one,
Well, that's Old Boy.
yeah, and
Yeah, the
I've
hallway.
never seen Old Boy, but
Oh my goodness, I've seen it twice now. Oh my
I hear
goodness.
it's a fucked up
Uh,
movie. I've never seen it.
I don't look into any spoilers or anything. Just you gotta experience it. It's pretty great. I love it.
Let's see.
Well, that's Scarface. Look at all that cocaine.
I thought this looked pretty cool.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
for
like
it
the
being AI
lighting.
generated, it's pretty good.
It,
Uh,
V for Vendetta.
yeah, this one looked pretty cool too. I don't know how
I've
this.
never seen the movie. I just have seen V for Vendetta with that mask a lot,
Mhm.
just like in various advertising.
I think it's remember the 5th of November, and I remember the story I always said. This chick that like was really into me wanted me to watch V for Vendetta, so she lent me the
Yeah.
DVD, and I never gave it back to her. But I never watched it,
That's really funny.
and I never spoke to her again. Next one. Oh my god, I forgot how easy.
Oh, oh man, I'm not exactly sure. I have no idea. Man, this is such a hard one, man. I have no idea what this could possibly be whatsoever.
Let's
Be
take
like,
a look first. Okay, why is this little person here staring at the big Benson? I don't.
Barry B. Benson is going against the entire world.
It's like him watching the movie on a. I don't know. I just don't know why it generated this, but I
I
forgot
don't know
how easy
either.
these were.
Wow.
All right, I think the last two might be a little bit spiking in difficulty. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Okay, this could be any
Saving
war
Private
movie, but
Ryan?
no, it's a particular movie, but I don't blame you for picking that one.
Vietnam movie number 12.
You're right. Well, Platoon. I put Platoon,
Oh,
and
I've
this
never
is what
seen
it
that
gave me.
movie.
You ever seen Platoon? Platoon's
No, I
good.
haven't.
Platoon's good.
I'll have to check it
But
out then.
you could literally put in generic war movie, and this is probably what it'd pop up.
Generic war movie,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why the Barbie doll chick's there. I don't think she'd be right in front in the battle, but whatever. You know.
Well, you need a body. You need somebody to absorb the bullets.
She has enough blood coming out of her.
Yeah.
Last one.
Interstellar.
Yes. I'm glad you got this.
Overrated movie. Actually, overrated movie.
We could talk about Interstellar these days, but I thought this looked cool too.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the scenery of this. Yeah, Interstellar is a weird movie. Very long. Very, very long.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, it is a weird movie. But that's the game. That was Clay Eye.
Boom, pew, 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 pew.
But speaking
That's
of
what it is.
yeah, speaking of I don't know, Areolas, because I messed up earlier. Where can they find you?
Well, you
Mint?
can. I do daily movie reviews every day at 7 p.m. ET. YouTube.com/ASU Presents. If you want to request me to do a movie for $20, Patreon.com/ASU Presents. For Canon's sake. Live. I do comic book reviews there and help support the daily grindiness. linktr.ee/Titsman Salad. That's where you can find me.
Yes, we need to help you get more little stuffies to put in your background, so
Yes.
that it's all stuffies just surrounding
I'm just surrounded by plushes.
You can find my podcast, That's All Funny, available anywhere podcasts are available. It comes out daily. You check out the new podcast I do for wrestling called That's All Kayfabe with my buddy Gabe. That's everywhere. Just search That's All Kayfabe. Check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Lorenzo Areola, where we do, videos of stuff, and then the live showing of this, like you're watching now. Check out either our Patreons for archived episodes of Tits and Areolas. And yeah, if you want to check out retrohorror.com for any merch, you check that out. And I want to thank everyone for the lovely Mint for being here. And we'll see you all next time. Goodbye. We got singing about